morning. It is Monday. I am leaving the shelter. I have a steep 0.2 up to trail, and then I think another 0.6 to summit a mountain, and then I should be going down for a while. I've already started the up. Shelter was really full. I can talk more about that later. I'll see you later. All right, I'm at a spot where I could actually like talk and walk. So let me start with the 6th, June 6th, my travel day. What a hellacious travel day it was, Saturday. I got to the airport, and as soon as I got to the airport, it said my flight was delayed, and then it got delayed. It got delayed 4 times. I had a 3.5 hour connecting flight in Charlotte. Missed my connecting flight because it was delayed so much. They put me on a different flight. I got here to Charlottesville, and my luggage with my pack and all my gear did not. So I had to sit at that airport for like 3.5 hours. And at some points I was the only one in that side. And at that is like after 8 o'clock at night now. I hadn't had dinner. There's no food there. I was not happy. You'd think they would do something for having you miss your flight, messing up your luggage. I got nothing out of that. Not that I expect stuff, but I was kind of pissed. Anyway, finally got a Lyft driver to pick up. It took forever. I was doing Uber and Lyft, and no one would pick it up that late at night, because by that point it's after 11 o'clock at night. Got to the hotel at 1 in the morning, around 1. Checked in. Then I had to go through my luggage and pack my pack the right way, because you can't put it in there the way you're going to carry it. And I had a shuttle coming at 8 in the morning. So it was a very stressful travel day. Very stressful. I'll share more later. I need to catch my breath. Alright. Let's talk about yesterday now. Sunday. So my shuttle driver came. She was great. Shuttled me to the trail. It gosh, it brought back memories when I got there. So I got on, started hiking, and at mile 3, 3 miles in, I was like, well, after the first half mile, I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Like, I condition, but nothing is ever enough, right? Nothing is ever enough. And then at 3 miles in, I was talking real big, like, I'm gonna pass the shelter. and I'm gonna, push through to a further spot. Then I got 6 miles in, and boy, was I starting to talk a different tune to myself. Then that last mile, point 5 to the shelter, it was grueling, and it took me so long. It was all up steep, and then you had to go steep down to get to the shelter. That's where the water was, so I mean, I had no choice. I had to go there to get water anyway. But then once I got down there, and the longer I sat, I was like, there's no way I'm staying. And through hiker after through hiker kept coming in, and they were complaining about the last like 0.5, 0.6. So that makes me feel better. Yeah. Hung out with a bunch of through hikers and a couple section hikers. People kept coming in, all because they're pushing long miles, so they were coming in after 8:30. So just when I was about falling asleep, a new person would come in. But yeah, it was a good night. It was a good night. It actually got a little cool, so I used my quilt. Well, I'll share more a little further down the trail. I've made it to the shelter turnoff. It is 4:31. I left camp at 7 a.m. this morning, like a little after 7. I don't know how much I'm able to film when I get to the shelter, because I know a lot of thru hikers are going to be there that I camped with last night. I'm hanging with the thru hikers at least 2 days in a row. Well, they actually went a little further than I did yesterday, because I started at a gap. I actually camped. I'm actually camping 2.5 miles further than my original plan, because I got to that place. I was happy to see there was a stealth site, two stealth sites, but this is just going to knock off over 2 miles of my day tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm staying at High Top Hut, which is it's going to be a lot of climbing tomorrow because it's High Top Hut. So if I don't see you, if I don't get back on, I will see you tomorrow. Hello, it is 10 to 8 on Monday, June 8th, and I am in my tent for the night. I actually did a 14.7 mile day today. Wow. I went 2.2 miles more. I decided, since I'm solo hiking, I wanted to try to stay at the shelter this time. I stayed at a shelter yesterday, but I was supposed to stealth camp 2.5 miles back, or 2.2 miles back, and I was happy it was there. I was going off of one comment on Guthook that said it was there, so but I'm glad it was actually there. And I think what saved me and why I was able to hike that many miles is because I went to the wayside. So at like 10 miles, around 10-ish miles, I went to the Loft Mountain wayside and got a burger, fries, and some pop. And I sat there for about an hour and was able to go, further. So when I got to, I was a little dubious about it. I'm not going to lie, because this is day 2 since I've been in the Appalachian Mountains in 4 years. I'm really proud of myself that I did the 14.7, and I wasn't even like dying, not like yesterday. I think yesterday, getting in so early in the morning with the whole travel nightmare and barely getting any sleep, and then the heat. Today was a couple degrees cooler, and there was some down. There was more down today. But even when I got to the mileage I did yesterday, I was not feeling anywhere near tired like I was the day before. So I will say, I got up from sitting down there at the shelter with everybody and hanging out that my body didn't want to get up. And it was like groaning, did not want to come up here, because all of the tent sites are up above the shelter and like up above the shelter, and you have to like do a switchback to get to it. Although there's people who are coming in and there's no more space up here, so they're just putting it all over. They're just putting their tents wherever they can, and hammocks. There's a bunch of people who got in about a half hour ago who did 25 miles today. That's insane. And it was hot. It wasn't as hot as yesterday, but it was hot. I mean, I'm sweaty. I was sweaty for sure. So, to talk about, let's see, yesterday at camp, what happened at camp, because I wanted to, the water source was fantastic. It was right there coming out of a pipe. It was flowing, man. I mean, you fill up your Canuck bag in seconds. It was great. And there was a bear box, so I didn't have to, and bear poles, but most of us put them in the bear box. People who ended up in the shelter are because they got there so late and they didn't want to put their tent up, and they had 20-mile days, so they weren't about to do that. I was feeling so good about myself getting here when hanging with the thru hikers, when I found out they were at the camp store, which was a couple miles before the Wayside was 0.6 off trail and the camp store was 0.5 off trail. And I was bound and determined I wanted to get like a hamburger and fries. So I went to the Wayside, which was 0.1 longer. Anyway, they were there for 3 hours. I only stopped for 1 hour. So I mean, they've been hiking since Georgia. When I was in this area, we were up to 20 miles. So yeah, but anyway, I'm not going to be with the thru hikers tomorrow because the next shelter is 8 point something away, and I did that extra mileage today because I was supposed to do 12.3 today and 11 tomorrow, and I'm adding like the spurs from the shelter, you know, the spur trail to the Wayside, just because I have to be like, I have to really know the mileage. I'm not through hiking. I need, you know, all of that adds up. And like 14.7 miles today, where they were saying, oh yeah, we had 13-mile day today. And I was like, what? Oh, and then I realized they're not counting, which when I through hiked, I didn't count any of those spur trails either. But section hiking, I have to know my exact mileage I'm going to be doing, or just so I can mentally prepare myself. There was one climb today that it's like it kept going and going and going, but it's not bad. Like down in Georgia and North Carolina or the Smokies, like this is the Shenandoah. So it's but for someone who hasn't been on the Appalachian Trail in 4 years, I'm pretty proud of myself for doing the 14.7 and not like dying when I got here. I could have gone on. Would I? No. The scary thing about this shelter is, and I don't know if anyone is actually going in the shelter, but someone's been bit by venomous snakes. 2 people have been bit by venomous snakes in the last week and a half. I think that I know one was a copperhead. I don't know what the other one was. And also, they're getting, like, I guess they're saying they're getting really bad ticks also in the shelters. So all the thru hikers are putting their tents up in their hammocks, because they're not even staying in. Only the people that are getting in way too late are going in those shelters. And then, of course, there's the mice. Well, so much more happened, but I know that this video is going to be crazy long because of all the talking I've done today. So I will see you tomorrow. I hope you're all having a great day.